Howdy YouTube, and welcome to this episode of Gunman's World. So I decided to make a bit of a off-the-cuff video on my latest video game pickup. So I've just got myself actually two PlayStation 3s. I've got myself this one. I've got this one second actually. Originally I bought the one which I have in my bedroom here, and that's a PS3 Slim. So I've got that hooked up to my computer monitor here. Got the curved Samsung computer monitor, and I've got this beast hooked up there. So that's the lightweight version. Obviously functionality is fairly similar to this old one I've got here. So this one is the original PlayStation 3. Now that is capable of playing all your PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 titles. So I've got a decent amount of PS2 titles and also PS1 games there. One thing, I was actually just watching a Metal Jesus Rocks video, and you're actually able to play all your PS1 games on all PlayStation 3s. So that's something that's worth keeping in mind. So the main addition that you have of this one, the original PS3, is you can play your PS2 games, which I've got. Yeah, I've got quite a few there. But yeah, PS3s are an amazing system to collect for at this point in time. I was actually watching one of Metal Jesus Rocks. I was watching one of his videos recently, and it was like collector's guide. And one of the main points he said was just think outside of the box. Collect things that people aren't collecting, you know? So if everyone's collecting Wii U stuff, for instance, go and collect a PS3, you know? And look, at the moment, no one's really collecting for PS3, and they are really cheap at the moment. You can get some really good titles for like really bloody cheap. So originally I bought that one. I got this Slim for $150, and that one came with 11 games, and they were sort of these games here. I then got another pickup of around 11 or 12 games. So that was my first round of collection. I also actually managed to snag a couple of PS4 games. So I got Evolve, Thief, and Need for Speed Rivals thrown in, and also a couple of Wii U games, so Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2. So all up, what I've spent on those PS4 titles, all these PS3 games, and two PS3s is about $640 from last count. And I think that's about 74 games you're looking at right there. There has surprisingly not that many double ups. There is a couple of double ups. I've got two Valkyria Chronicles, but it's not a big deal. I can either keep them or just try and sell them off. But we'll have a bit of a look at some of these titles. So we've got Dragon Age Inquisition. I did actually start playing that game. It just did feel a little bit dated, and I wasn't sure if it was my PlayStation, my monitor, or the game that was getting a little bit of jumping frame rates around and a bit of lag on it. But it turns out it must have been the game, because since I put a couple of other games in with the same monitor and the same system, and they seem to be running fine. So for some reason that was actually struggling on my system, and I didn't really rate the game either. Mod Nation Erasers, yet to play that one. Looks like it could be a bit of fun. What do we got here? Castlevania. If it's anything like the classics, it's probably going to be a half-decent game. Resident Evil 5. That could be good. Haven't played it. God of War 2, or 3, sorry. Wolverine. X-Men Origins. Killzone 3. Heavenly Sword. I actually had that one years ago, and to be honest, it's a average game. It was never really that good, to be honest. I wasn't a big fan of it. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Far Cry 3, SOCOM Confrontations, SOCOM, whatever you want to call it, Payday 2, maybe okay, I really wouldn't know, haven't played it. Far Cry 2, oh, we've got Far Cry 2 and 3, that's good. Darksiders 2, yet to play it. Tekken 6, now I'm pretty sure I whacked that in and it said Tekken 5, but no, it says Tekken 6 on the disc. But yeah, I literally lasted about 20 minutes on that, and it was just pretty crap, to be honest. Wasn't really my cup of tea. Little Big Planet 2, yeah. I didn't really last too long on that game. Half an hour and it sort of lost me. A little bit childish for me. Vanquish, yet to play it, but it looks pretty cool. Some sort of a collector's edition box there. Killzone 2, haven't played it. Red Dead Redemption, still remember when that came out, and that's got some really good reviews on it. Even Metal Jesus and Kelsey said that that's sort of like a must buy, like a must have on the PS3. But yeah, I'm yet to really play it that much. LA Noire, I believe that's meant to be pretty good too. Infamous, yet to play it. So look, I've got so much time worth of games to start playing. Dynasty Warriors 6, I did play a couple of the Dynasty Warriors games years ago with friends, and they were multiplayer, 1 to 2 player. You just sit back and have a bit of a muck around on them. Infamous 2, Uncharted 2, that was another one that made it into Metal Jesus's sort of top 10 for the PS3. We got Naruto there. Not sure if that'll be any good, but maybe. Resident Evil 6. So that was sort of... That's what I bought last Monday. That was just in one day's pickup. So yeah, all of these ones I picked up in that one day. $150 for the system and half of them, and $100 for the other half. So that was $250, and that did get me a decent start, but missing a lot of my sort of real favorite style games, like a lot of the RPG and racing games, like a lot of shoot 'em ups, and I do like them. But there was only really that one racing game in there, and no real RPG. Or there was the Dragon Age Inquisition, but it just didn't turn out to be my kind of game. So these are the ones that I actually picked up today, and these ones I picked up on yesterday. So I actually met this Swedish guy, and he's quite a bit younger than me actually, and he's got very similar taste in video games than me. But yeah, I've got a couple of younger stepbrothers, and when I was about 14, 15, they got me into Final Fantasy VII, and that game absolutely blew me away. Yes, it's single player, but it's something that we would actually still sit down, we'd all have our own sort of save files, and we'd sit there and watch and narrate each other while we're playing. Like, gaming for me used to always be like something that you did with friends, you know. Even if you were still playing a one-player game, you'd still, you know, hand the controller around and have a bit of fun with it. Yeah, obviously these days I don't do as much of that, but I'm just happy with my own company and sit down and get lost in the fantasy worlds of some of these RPGs, like these JRPGs. So that Swedish guy I met, as I said, he's got a very similar taste in games than me. So I got Gran Turismo 5. Actually, that was from this morning. That was from a different pickup. So I hear that one's pretty good. It's by the guys that did Studio Ghibli. So they've done some really, really awesome animated TV series and movies. Sorry, Valkyria Chronicles. I played that game years ago when it was brand new, and it was really good. It's got like, it's cel-shaded, sort of cartoony style graphics, but it's got a good storyline and interesting gameplay. It's sort of like a strategical RPG. It's sort of actually nearly even set around like circa World War II, but it's sort of in a different alternate universe type thing. It's yeah, but I really do recommend Valkyria Chronicles. What else we got here is Tales of Symphonia. Now that was, I actually just saw a video Metal Jesus did, and they were saying that was originally actually released on the GameCube. So it's one of those things that they've released on the PS3. They've given both of the old titles, so you've got 1 and 2. I did start playing the first one, but then when I realised it was like a bit of an older game, I thought for now I want to get into some of the PS3 games and some of those PS3 games that I just missed out on. Because for the previous last few years, I've actually had a few years away from gaming. A lot of my viewers who are familiar with the Gunman on YouTube, I've spent a lot of time just editing videos, and But recently, it was like a New Year's resolution. I've just decided to take a little bit easier on the editing side and making videos flat out and just enjoy my life a bit more. If I want to play a few games every now and then and not make a video, I'm not going to pressure myself like I used to. So yeah, it's actually been really good for me and enjoyable to rekindle my love in video games. I wouldn't call myself a hardcore gamer. I'm a fairly casual gamer. It's a good thing to do when you're relaxing. So Enslaved, that's actually a game I enjoyed. It got some pretty shitty reviews when I just wanted to see what other people's thoughts were on it, and it got like around 60 to 70% on some of the big gaming channels. But I enjoyed it. Haven't finished it yet. I'm probably about 30 or 40% of the way through it, so I'll probably get back into that after I've finished a couple of these other ones. Dragon's Dogma, yeah, the guy said that was actually pretty good. Again, yet to play it, can't really verify it, but looks pretty cool. Tales of Xillia, again, yet to play that one, but could be good. Deus Ex Human Revolution, another one I'm yet to play. Dragon Age 2. I remember when these were new, and they did get good reviews, but I'm just wondering how well they're going to stand the test of time, I guess. So, Dark Souls, Prepare to Die edition. Not really sure if that's going to be any good. Final Fantasy X and X-2, I can definitely vouch for them too. So they're HD remastered versions of the Final Fantasy X and X-2 series. I loved those games back in the day. So I mentioned before that my brothers got me into Final Fantasy VII. I then got to the age of 16, 17. I was more interested in girls, drugs, and partying. So I missed Final Fantasy 8 and 9, but I got back into it at Final Fantasy 10 days when the PlayStation 2 was out, and I absolutely loved it. And then I got Final Fantasy X-2, which was all the girls out of Final Fantasy X. So you played as the main three characters. I can't remember their names offhand. Another copy of Valkyria Chronicles. That's not necessarily too bad of a thing. Dishonored. That looks like it could be good. But what do we got here? Injustice, Gods Amongst Us. So that's like a DC Universe style game, I think he was saying, from the creators of Mortal Kombat. So sort of a, yeah, just punch 'em up game. That's a second copy of Little Big Planet 2. Resident Evil 5, I think we already had that one. So yeah, like I've got a couple of doubles, but really not too bad. Assassin's Creed Heritage Collection. So that's actually, yeah, supposedly got like 4 or 5 games in it, which is pretty cool. Mass Effect 3. That looks like it could be cool too. You have to play it. Skyrim, so that's one that I've got 2 of. So I've got Skyrim over here. I've got this sort of boxed edition of it, Skyrim 5. Bioshock and Bioshock 2, yet to play them. I've seen a little bit of game footage on YouTube for them too. And Beyond. So, from memory, this is sort of nearly half like a movie, Beyond is. So, I remember when this came out, and yeah, got some good reviews. But yeah, it's got like William Dafoe in it, and a couple of other, yeah, like sort of Hollywood style actors. And then we got Infamous too. So that rounds out the second days of pickings, and we'll get into what I actually picked up today. Alright, and yeah, I forgot, these are actually a few that came with the games that I've got off that Swedish guy. And I've got some PlayStation 1 and 2 games here. So I've got Final Fantasy Origins, so that's actually just the first Final Fantasy, and they re-released it on the PlayStation 1, and then Final Fantasy 2. He gave me Final Fantasy 12, which I've actually got a box version of that anyway. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2 on the PlayStation 2. Digimon, PlayStation 1. Never played that. I've never played this one either. Jade Cocoon. Supposedly that one was pretty good. He's got some Anastasia. I don't think I'll be watching that one. Avatar movie, Watchmen. That's another Studio Ghibli movie. SSX Tricky, Spider-Man 3, PS2, Lara Croft Tomb Raider Legends. That's probably the original Tomb Raider, but re-released from memory. Infamous, PlayStation 3, Resistance, PS3, Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition. That's awesome. I do have that myself in the box. God of War, Dragon Age Origins, Final Fantasy X-2 on the PS2, Final Fantasy X on the PS2. Again, I've got both of them. Mirror's Edge, PS3, and Grand Theft Auto 4. So that was definitely a good little pickup for these ones. That was $220, and the big fat PS3. So, and 2 controllers came with that one as well. I was pretty happy with that. And today's pickups was this decent sized lot here. And what did I pay for these? I paid $130. I drove down south of the river, and then I got an extra 3 titles. And that was just for $20 off some guy up in Girraween. But yeah, so we'll go through these as well. Gran Turismo 5. I still remember when I was waiting for that game. Like, they had the Gran Turismo 5 prologue, and by the time Gran Turismo 5 came out, man, I was over that game. Like, it took them so long to make that. So I'm actually going to have to get into it and see if it's any good. And now they've got Gran Turismo 6 out, so I'll have to see if I can get that cheap as well. And then one game that I will definitely be buying new when that comes out is for the PS4. That'll be Gran Turismo Sport. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, to see what they can do for the next gen consoles. Final Fantasy 13, that's in the PlayStation at the moment. Final Fantasy 13 number 2. I'm looking forward to playing this one. Yet to play it, but that's some sort of a collector's edition, which is pretty cool to have. I am a bit of a Final Fantasy fan, so that's especially cool that I've got that for $20. That and Final Fantasy 13 and Gran Turismo 5. So that was definitely cool to have. And the rest of these, we'll just quickly go through them because this camera's really starting to heat up. And you're probably bored of listening to me talk crap about PlayStation 3 games by now, aren't you? So yeah, Batman Arkham City. Looks like it could be actually quite cool. Another collector's edition case. I think that looks really awesome. Real fan of the Joker. So yeah, that's the extra case. So it came with 2 cases. Final Fantasy 13 2. Tomb Raider. That was a good game. I did play that. I really enjoyed it. Rayman Legends. So that will be the original Rayman. That was always a bit of fun. Saints Row the Third. I never played any of those Saints Row games, but I'm pretty sure they're just basically same as the Grand Theft Auto with a slightly different style. So not sure if I will even play that, but I've got it anyway. Dark Souls. Yeah, looks like could be cool. Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Now I did play that back in the day a little while ago. I don't remember lasting too long on it. It just got a bit boring for me personally. White Knight Chronicles number 2. That could be cool. I like those sort of JRPG style games. I like storylines in them. Darksiders 2 limited edition. Could be cool. Grand Theft Auto 5. That's got some pretty good reviews across the board. FIFA 11. Not sure if I'll be too interested in that. Not the biggest sports game man. Bioshock Infinite. Might be good. We'll see how we go. And this is one that actually I typed into YouTube best PS3 RPG games, and Kingdoms of Amalur: The Reckoning it came up as sort of a bit of a hidden gem from the guys that made the video anyway. And they say that it's fairly rare, like not stupidly rare, but it didn't sell as well as it probably should have, they were saying. So I am looking forward to getting that one. But as you can see here, like, some people have spent some serious money on these games, which I picked up for near nothing, you know. For someone to go and spend $109 on just that one title, you know, Tiger Woods, $99 on that game, and basically give it away in a bundle of other games, you know. What have we got here? Diablo 3, 2 Worlds. That, to me, that looked like it could be alright. Maybe, may not be, but see how we go. Borderlands 2, FIFA 14, Call of Duty Ghost, and these are 3 here which I will just about guarantee I will never even put inside the system. DJ Hero, Band Hero, and Guitar Hero. Not interested in them at all, and that's just that Skyrim game that I was mentioning before. Like, I'll give you guys a quick look at what comes in it. But yeah, it was basically just a book, really. It was just like a notepad, really. Nothing really that special, but someday down the track someone could say, oh wow, so yeah, you've basically just got it comes with 2 cases for some reason. Wouldn't you just think that you wouldn't need that case if you've already got that one? And that's all that is. That's just a different case, whereas this one here is empty, so I don't really get that. But yeah, and that is literally just a notepad, so you can see that the previous owner of this has started to write down a few notes of his game, I guess. But yeah, I don't even know if I'll get into that Skyrim game. It's there, I can if I want to, but we'll see how we go. So I guess that's about wrapped it up for my PS3 new pickups video. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching it. It's been, yeah, a bit of fun for me to make it. I like gaming, and I like to share my love of gaming. I know that, yeah, it's a totally flattered market. I'm not really that interested in trying to make it big in the video gaming YouTube genre, but for me, even if I can just share this video with a few of my friends and they can enjoy it, well, that's all I'm really after. So thanks for watching and hanging around to the end, and I'll see you in the next one. Gunman out.